It's Fayette County Sports, presented in part by the Fayette County Early Learning Center, Epifano McDonald's of Fayette County and Jamestown, Jim Van Dyke's Automotive Center, Great Oaks Career Campuses, Kirk's Furniture, Liella Lanes and Amore Pizzeria, ProMedica Heartland Hospice, M&M Horsehair and M&M Fasteners, The Summers Funeral Home, Courthouse Manor and St. Catherine's Manor of Washington Courthouse. Thank you for watching Fayette County Sports on WCHC TV.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, everyone, here on WCHC, along with Dave Meyer-Woolliver. This is Randy Young. Welcome into our broadcast of high school sports, Fayette County youth sports. Tonight, football action. Of course, we did Washington Courthouse. It seems like it's been forever, hasn't it? This was, 7 weeks ago when they played Western Brown, and the night that the lights went out at Gardner Park. We'll never forget that, will we? Anyway, that game was unbelievable, to say the least. Well, tonight we, of course, got Miami Trace taking host to the Greenfield McClain Tigers. We had originally scheduled to do the Western Brown Trace game, but we had to make some changes with sickness and stuff. So this kind of gives us a little bit of preview for next week's game that we'll be doing here on WCHC between Miami Trace and Washington Courthouse. So I guess it all ended up working out for the main thing, and that's what we're hoping for tonight. As you can tell maybe by the TV screen that it's senior night. And if you've been involved with senior nights, any school, they always are a very, very special occasion. Miami Trace, though, it seems like it takes almost an hour and a half to get it through. They started at about 20 minutes ago, and there's still players and parents going out onto the field, but they should be done and wrapped up in just a few minutes. Miami Trace comes in the contest with an overall record of 3 wins and 5 losses. They're 1-2 in the league. Of course, 2 of those games, if you talk to Coach Williams, he wished he could have back, because then that would just flip it, and they'd be 5-3 right now, and they may be knocking on the door for a possible home playoff game. But as it is, they're sitting number 16th of 16 teams that could go to the playoffs, and starting in 2 weeks, and will probably end up going on the road for yet another year. But, of course, fans might remember that opening night against Waverly with a lead of, it was 39-28 with 2.5 minutes left. Waverly came down, scored, onside kick. They recovered, scored again, and 44-39 win in favor of the Tigers from Waverly. By the way, in case you're interested, they've only won 2 games since then. Then, of course, the next week, they traveled to Wilmington, came up with a 6-point win, 28-22. Lost to Logan Elm, 35-10 in the Turnover Bowl. Miami Trace had 5 turnovers in that contest. I believe 4 of them were fumbles. Then they came back home. They beat Goshen 49-7. Then, of course, took on state-ranked Western Brown. Lost that one 51-14. Then went to Jackson. Lost down there 49-28. And then the second game that Coach Williams probably would love to have back, and that's that overtime loss down at Chillicothe, where they lost by a final score of 35-28. Last week, back here at home, they beat the Hillsborough Indians by a score of 31-14. And, of course, besides this game tonight with Greenfield, they'll be at Washington Courthouse next week. And if you follow us here on our website at faycam.org or on Fayette 43160's Facebook page, I had wrote a little notes there that the FAC, I thought if Trace can win one of the last 2 games, they should be pretty much in. The teams that is in 15th place right now has a decent lead, but the Trace has a pretty good lead over, I believe it's Vandalia Butler, who's in the 17th slot. So if they can just get a win tonight or next week against Courthouse, that should nail down a playoff berth. Meanwhile, you look at the Greenfield McClain Tigers. They started off the season with a 2-0 mark. They defeated Adena by a 56-28 score. And then, boy, what a comeback against McDermott Northwest. Trailing by 14 points going into the fourth period. They rallied with a 15-point fourth period to beat McDermott Northwest 36-35. Then a very tough and state-ranked Zane Trace team came into Greenfield and shut them out 40-0. Then McClain bounced back with a road trip over to East Clinton, take on the Astros and won 42-7. Beat Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy 42-14. And then they got into the FAC, and, well, things kind of fell apart a little bit for them. They lost 50-14 to Chillicothe. Then at Washington Courthouse, they gave up 36 first-half points and lost 39-0. And then last week, Jackson just simply dominated with a 48-0 score. Also, we'll keep an eye on Greenfield tonight. They may have a couple players banged up. We'll talk more about that as the game progresses. For Miami Trace, as far as we know, most of their key players are healthy and ready to go. Greenfield enters the contest with a record of 3 wins, 4 losses. They're 0-3 in the FAC. After tonight, they, of course, next week go to Hillsboro. Greenfield right now, I believe, is like 11th or 12th in their region. So even, and we're not talking about the Tiger fans here, but don't go on and make them mad, but if they would lose both games, they still be in the playoffs. So they're also wanting to say, hey, let's nail this down for sure. Let's get a win either this week or next week against Hillsboro. And that way we know we're going to go on the road, but at least we know we're in the playoffs once again with the McClain Tigers under Keith Penwell, who is now serving his first full season as the head coach of the Tigers. We're about 14 minutes away from the start of the contest, this FAC encounter between Miami Trace and Greenfield McClain. We'll talk more about this series and more about other games going on tonight. And boy, there are some big ones as we continue with our coverage of Fayette County Youth Sports right here on WCHC.
Hi, my name is Olivia Pryor and I'm from Fayette County Early Learning Center. We are now currently enrolling for our Head Start, Early Head Start, and Child Care Partnership programs. We have programs for pregnant moms and children from birth to 3, children from 3 to 5, and then we also have an existing Child Care Partnership where we meet with and work with child care programs and serve children from 6 weeks to 3 years old. If you're interested in enrolling, please stop by and see us or give us a call at 740-335-7282, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Manor and St. Catherine's Manor of Washington Courthouse provide skilled nursing, rehab, ventilator care, memory care, and assisted living. It's our pledge to provide the highest level of care at each of our facilities. Courthouse Manor and St. Catherine's Manor of Washington Courthouse, a tradition of caring.
I've taken a lot of shots in my career. At Ohio State, in the WNBA, at the Olympics. But I didn't take those shots just for myself. I took them for my team. When it came to taking the COVID shot, I did it for the same reason, for my family, my friends, and my community. Because we are a team. I took my shot.
Well, the senior night activities for all the fall sports is just wrapped up. David, in case you want to keep this as a time checker for next week's game at Washington Courthouse, it took them 23 and a half minutes to go through the senior list tonight, okay? We'll see how Courthouse does next week when they have their senior night activity down at Gardner Park. Miami Trace, Greenfield McClain against each other in our FAC Game of the Week, along with Dave and Myra Woolever. This is Randy Young. Thanks for joining us here on WCH. We hope that you enjoy the broadcast. As we come into the contest tonight, as we mentioned before, Miami Trace comes in here with a record of 3-5, and again with 2 of the games, losing the game against Waverly here at home late, and then, of course, the overtime game down at Chillicothe. That could very well be reversed. We take a look at their turnover figures. The Panthers have recovered 5 fumbles this year, but lost 7. They have picked off 9 passes, but the quarterback passing attack for McClain is -8. So when you figure the 14 turnovers that they have forced and giving up 15 turnovers, that is a -1 advantage, or I should say disadvantage, for Miami Trace. Real quickly, you look at Greenfield McClain. They have, believe it or not, they have picked off 8 interceptions this year, but they have thrown 13. So right there is going to be a -5. They have 2 fumble recoveries, but have lost 4. That's a -2. So they have a -7 as far as the turnover number. And 4 of those 13 interceptions, by the way, came in the game against Washington Courthouse just a couple weeks ago for the McClain Tigers. This series basically has been dominated by Miami Trace over the years, going back up to 2003, checking out Joe Idle's computer rankings, who guys just pretty much right on as far as before the computer rankings come out, that kind of gives you a prediction and so forth. But going back to 2003, when this series resumed, once the SCOL was reformed, Miami Trace has won 17 out of 19 times. The only 2 times the Greenfield has won was in 2010, when they won by a score of 28-21, and 2018, when they won at Donnybrook 47-40. Other than that, again, it's been all Panthers 17 out of 19 times. Well, the Miami Trace Band is out on the artificial turf, getting ready for the playing of the national anthem. Let's join PA announcer Dick Glass and the Miami Trace Panther Band as they play our national anthem.
The playing of the Miami Trace alma mater.
Miami Trace Panthers. Real quickly, let's take a look at the Panther team. The starting quarterback, once again, will be sophomore Trey Robinette, who has had an outstanding year up to this point. Got him unofficially 76 out of 142 in the passing department for a little over 1,200 yards in passing. He's thrown for 15 touchdowns, in which 9 of those have gone to wide receiver Garrett Guess. Meanwhile, he has thrown 7 interceptions. He's had 2 games over 200 passing-wise. Of course, the opening game of the season, 256. That's a good way to make a sophomore debut, isn't it? And then, of course, 206 just a couple weeks ago down at Jackson. Last week against Hillsboro, Trey was 10 for 19 in the passing department for 185 yards and threw for 3 scores. Well, if you want to go to the running game, well, you, of course, are going to go with LeBeau, which seems to be a familiar name for over the last, 7 or 8 years for Miami Trace, with LeBeau family doing well as far as that tailback slot. It's Asher's turn now with 700 yards plus rushing this year, 8 touchdowns. He's averaging just almost 6 yards a carry. He's got 192 yards against Goshen, which is his season high, and 125 against Western Brown. He has 54 yards on 4 receptions, and he scored 2 touchdowns, so he had 8 rushing, so that gives him a total of 10. Other guys that we'll probably be seeing a lot about tonight, Colton May. Also, we'll be mentioning the name of Zach Warnock, especially in the kicking game. We don't want to jinx him, but we was sitting here before the game, and David and I were watching him a little bit. He was at the 50-yard line. He kicked a 60-yard field goal in warm-ups. And we're saying to ourselves, he does that during a game, or he does that a couple more times, there are going to be some colleges down here scouting that young man out a little bit. Very, very impressive. Another runner we'll see and talk about tonight will be Evan Colgrove. And, of course, on defense, another receiver, Landon Cope. Of course, Austin Bodecker, who played quarterback for several years in the Panther program through junior high years, has now kind of picked up the slack on defense and has turned out to be an outstanding defensive back and has had a good play. Ryston LeBeau's getting some playing action as well. Meanwhile, for Greenfield McClain, the main man is Mr. Andrew Potts. Andrew, of course, I believe set a school record, 360 yards a couple of weeks ago. He's unofficially got over 1,100 yards in rushing, 11 touchdowns, and also he plays a little defense with 9.5 tackles. He's also caught about 5 passes, averaging around 18.5. He has 3 touchdowns in 2 different games, once against Northwest and one against Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. I had to pause because, as usual, as my mother always said, you'd make a good pharmacist or a doctor because you can't read your writing. And I can't even read my own writing, folks, so that really gets dangerous sometimes. But anyway, we'll be talking and sharing more information, more stats for you here throughout the evening hours. Meanwhile, the band is standing, waiting for Miami Trace to come out of the locker room. Greenfield, they've already hit the field. They're kind of standing there. They're wanting kind of to get started and so forth. So I'll tell you what, Dave, let's go ahead. We got a little time here, maybe get a little hit. So we'll take a 60-second break. And then when we come back, we'll have the kickoff of tonight's game between Greenfield and Miami Trace on Fayette County Youth here on WCHC. Wondering what comes next after high school? At Laurel Oaks Career Campus, you can forge a successful career path. Start as a junior and graduate with opportunities in dental assistance, education, construction, healthcare, exercise science, and more. Earn a career certification and college credit. What comes next is up to you. Open up a world of possibilities and discover your greatness. Go to greatoaks.com to find out more. That's greatoaks.com. Well, we're about ready. Miami Trace down at the end of the end zone. They're doing their, here they come. Panthers in the black and white. Of course, the McClain Tigers in their white uniform with purple lettering. For Greenfield McClain, they have struggled in FAC action over the years. Seems like they have a decent preseason, and then when they get into the FAC, they just have not been able to chalk up too many wins, to say the least. In fact, I told you 2018 they beat Miami Trace. You might remember that. I told you that during the pregame show. Well, that's the last time they won an FAC game, 2018. Yeah. They will come into the contest here tonight. They have lost, looks like, I believe it's 25. Yeah, 25 games in a row in the FAC. So check it, make it 22 straight games. The last time they beat was Miami Trace on September 28th, 2018. That was their last FAC win. So they're trying to snap a 22-game losing streak. Plus, they have been shut out the last two games by Courthouse and Jackson, the two top teams playing tonight for edge in the lead the league. And they've been outscored 78-0. Of the games that they have played, they have not scored in 8 straight quarters. And of the 3 league games, that's 12 quarters, they have not scored in 10 of those 12 quarters. So, to say the least, Greenfield's got some offensive lack of firepower that they got to find tonight. For Miami Trace, yeah, they're going to see if they can continue to keep their offensive game going, as they will receive the opening kickoff. Emerson Yates will be doing the kickoff for the Greenfield McClain Tigers, as Miami Trace will be at the 10-yard line. Bo Decker is on the far side, and they're going to swivel kick. Comes off the foot of one of the Panthers, and that being Colden May at around the 32. He recovers and gets it out. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. So Trace will be in excellent field position. 1st and 10 at 41-yard line at the 11:53 mark. I'll do the best I can on the stats too. If not, we'll have to get some later, but we'll try to keep you up to date on how everybody's doing. All right, backs are split, ready to go. Robinette. There's the snap. And a keeper by Robinette, and he might have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard. They pushed that behind that right side of the line, behind the big guy, Mr. Andrew Guthrie. They said pick up a 1 on the play. They'll bring up 2nd down. And 9 at the Trace 42. Handoff, good opening, left side, cross midfield. That's LeBeau, and he will get it all the way down to the Greenfield 38. So that's going to be a pickup of 20 yards for LeBeau, and that is the 1st down. And, of course, ball in excellent field position for Miami Trace. 2 plays. 21 yards total, 1st and 10, 11-minute mark, 1st period of play. Again, handoff LeBeau, left side, sees a big hole and will get inside the 30, 25. Let's see where they mark it at. Looks like around the 23. And that's going to be more than enough. Another 15-yard pickup by LeBeau, but we do have a flag on the play. It was toward the end of the play. And it looks like it may be against Trace as they are retracing their steps at around the 28. So the penalty came up at the 28-yard. They'll go back to the original line of scrimmage, to be honest with you. So LeBeau will get a gain of 10 yards instead of 15. But the penalty wipes it out, and LeBeau gets the pitch left side, and good pursuit by the Tigers, forcing out of bounds. And Yates in on the tackle. So a loss there for the Panthers of about 3 yards on the play. So LeBeau with 3 carries and 27 yards. Robinette 1 carry, 1 yard. 2nd and 13 coming up at the Greenfield 41-yard line. Left to right across your screen. There's a snap and a shotgun. Robinette all the way down, over the hands of Weston Dawes. That one was about the 8-yard line. Weston was standing at the 10, so that's how close it was. Incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down. Well, after you start off the game with 4 straight runs, that's a good time maybe to call a pass just to keep the defense honest as they were trying to push the line. Check that. I think I said that was Weston Dawes. It was Landon Cope, number 33. Substitution for Greenfield. Tyson Nettler is now in the game, number 8. Shotgun formation, fake handoff, and a quick pass attended to the tight end. Again, that was to Cope, and the ball went in and out of his hands as they faked the draw play to LeBeau. The defense bit, and Robinette just stood up and just tried to hit Cope with a quick slant, down and in pattern, and not successful. So that brings up now a 4th and 13, and looks like the Panthers are going to punt, or at least they're set up to punt, and Warnock will be doing the duties. There's the kick, high in the air. Ball's going to take a roll, and did they save it? Nope. That'll be a touchback. So that'll be a 41-yard punt by Warnock, and that will bring up a 1st and 10 for the Greenfield McClain Tigers. So let's look at their team now, because I told you earlier that there might be some injuries that may be a factor. And it looks like Caden Penwell is going to be the new quarterback. There's the snap, handoff, and that will be coming around the left end, and running the ball will, of course, be Potts. So Penwell is in for Drake Stapleton, who was injured in the Washington Courthouse game and did not play last week. So we weren't sure who was going to play the quarterback position. Well, at least we know. Penwell's played running back most. Now they got an empty backfield. You got triplets over on the right side. Somebody's going to Did he get pulled offside? That's all going to be offsides on Miami Trace, as jumping off sides there on the right side was Dylan Heyer. So a count there gives Trace their second penalty of the game, 2 for 15. It'll make it now a 2nd and 2 at the Greenfield 28-yard line. Early moments of this contest. High snap. Penwell keeps it. Oh, ho, ho. He's not going anywhere. And coming in and making the tackle for the Panthers right on the snap. A really good play there. And that is Cameron Morris. Cameron having a good season for the Panther team, and used that slight height advantage and just penetrated the middle of the offensive line and stuffed Penwell for a 2-yard loss. Cameron, 15.5 tackles coming into the game, 10 solos, 11 assists, 3 sacks, and 6.5 tackles for loss. Well, you can add one more on that one. Penwell rolls to the right on 3rd down. Pass way over the head of Potts. Not a successful throw there by Penwell. And that will bring up a 4th and 4 as the pass is incomplete. And Coach Penwell says, I think maybe we'll just go ahead and punt the ball. What do you say? So that's what they're going to do. And Bodecker will go back for the Panthers at about midfield. So on a 4th and 4, ball at the Greenfield 26-yard line after a 3 and out, looks like. They're going to punt. Eikenberry, the punter, and it's, way out of bounds. That's not a good one at all, as the official keeps walking back toward the line of scrimmage and puts it at about the 38-yard line. That ends up being a net 12-yard punt, David. So a 12-yard punt net by Eikenberry, and gives Miami Trace, again, excellent field positions. 1st and 10 at the Greenfield 38-yard line. I'm going to say they've been at the 38, that's at least the 3rd or 4th time they've been 38. The officials should know where the line's at by now. So 1st and 10 at the 38. 7:41 left here in the first period of play. No score. Robinette, hand off, and LeBeau is stopped at the line of scrimmage. He might have snuck a half a yard in there. So LeBeau with the carry. Official said, nope, no gain. So after a 20 and then a net 10-yard on a holding penalty, Bodacker's been shut down to -3 and no gain. He's alone back behind Robinette. Trey, the sophomore, rolls to his left, looks downfield, and he sees him, and he's in. Touchdown. Miami Trace, and trying to catch the number there. I believe that was 35. 85. Well, I don't have a 35 or an 85. So we'll have to catch and see who got that. So that was a 37-yard touchdown pass. And the PAT is good by Warnock. And we'll see if we can find out who caught that ball. Our apologies. It was over in that far left corner. It was hard to pick up the number. But our score is 7-0 Miami Trace. 7:02 left first period. Stay with us right here on WCHC.
Sometimes it seems like it's hard to decide on a technician that you can trust with your vehicle transportation service needs. That's why since 2001, customers from Washington Courthouse and the surrounding area have made Jim Van Dyke's Automotive Center, 2247 U.S. Route 22 Southwest, their smart choice and auto repair service needs. Jim, Marlene, and Ray Van Dyke offer customers a professional, trained, and certified staff that can handle your vehicle needs. Jim Van Dyke's Automotive Center staff can do it all, including transmission, brakes, tires, and alignments. They also offer a free 30-point inspection to detect any potential service needs. They can work on both domestic and foreign vehicles. Call for an appointment at 740-335-2000. That's 740-335-2000. Or for more information, go to jimvandyke.com.
The touchdown pass was to Jake Manbeaver, and that was a 36-yard touchdown pass from Robinette to Manbeaver. Meanwhile, Greenfield gets the kick, and they will bring it all the way back out. Owen Sykes to the McClain 30. Check it, make it the 29-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, Greenfield with the ball. So a 37-yard pass to Manbeaver. Robinette adds another touchdown. Boy, good blitz there right up the middle. And coming to the left side, and on the go, there is Penwell, and he goes out of bounds. Boy, he really sucked in the Miami Trace defense. They saw clearly a blitz coming up the middle, and it looked like Lane Cope was going to blitz on the right side, and Penwell saw him and just came to and Penwell kept it, came to the left side. So he will go 12, 22, 23, 24 yards on the quarterback keeper. .33 yards, excuse me. So that's another. It's first down for Greenfield, and now we got whistles. Now, of course, at the end of the play, the McClain fans were hollering that they thought there was a late hit. But now we got a penalty called on McClain. Offsides, 5 yards. So the ball will be back to the Miami Trace 43. So again, trying to make some adjustment of the figures. There was a 33-yard run by Penwell to give him the first down. Now the penalty puts it back to Trace's 43-yard line. 2nd and 15. Fake handoff to Potts. There's the pass. Oh, can't hold on to it. That was to Owen Sykes, the tight end. The young sophomore seems to be having to do a little bit of everything here. The ball came up high and he couldn't pull it down. Incomplete pass by Penwell. He's now he's 0 for 3 unofficially in the first period of play. 6:40 mark. 2nd and 15 coming up as McClain Tigers are in Miami Trace territory after the 30-plus yard touchdown pass from Robinette to Manbeavers. Lone back, Penwell sees an opening on the right, spin, and he will come down, and that will, Manbeaver, I believe, was in on the tackle, but he also comes up limping a little bit. And also, I believe, in on the tackle was Bryson Sheets. So that brings up a 3rd down. They're going to give him 5. And so that will make it make it 3rd and 10. Ball at the Miami Trace 38-yard line. I don't know what it is with the 38-yard line. We've seen it in both sides of the field be a big factor. And yet another whistle and another offsides or illegal motion by the false start on McClain. So that's their 2nd penalty, another 5-yarder. So they've got 2 for 10. Miami Trace has 2 for 15. So we got a 3rd and 15. Thanks for tuning in here to WCHC. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Thanks to all of our community supporters. Halftime, we'll have the Kirk's Furniture halftime show. We'll try to update you on some scores around the area, plus have the bands. And then, of course, the Epipano McDonald's postgame show. We'll be talking with one of the Trace assistants and also the star of the game. Oh, I don't know what in the world that was. looked like Penwell was just trying to dump a pass off, and unfortunately did not get to his intended receiver. And that'll bring up, that was intended for Potts. Potts didn't even see it coming at him. So Penwell's now 0 for 4 in the passing department, and they'll bring up 4th down at about 13. I'm not sure how in the world. It was 3rd and 10. Illegal pass, and it's now 4th and 13. There's the snap. There's the punt. And this one is high in the air. And Greenfield trying to stop it. Will he get it? Oh, inside the 5. And they're going to mark it at about the 1 or 2 yard line. And a good punt there by Greenfield McClain. That being Seth Weller. So Weller with a nice punt. And they are going to put the ball at about, well, Dave said the half-yard line. I think they might bring it out just a little further. What do you think? Yeah, 2 yard line. So a good punt there by Weller. It was a net of 36 yards. And that will now bring up 1st and 10 for Miami Trace with their back against the end zone. And a 7-0 lead as we're under 5 minutes left here in the first period of play. Robinette fakes the handoff to Asher and then tries to pass on a slant play to Colton May, and he can't hold on to it. Robinette 1 for 3 in the game. Penwell's 0 for 4. Neither team's offense getting anything going. Of course, that one pass was completed. Was a 35-yard pass to Manbeaver for the touchdown. I guess you'll take his percentages anytime, right? 1 for 3, but a touchdown out of it. 2nd and 10. 4.5 minutes now left here in the first period of play. Handoff, left side. And they might have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard. Asher LeBeau with the carry, and they're going to give him a yard. So that'll bring up 3rd and 9 at the 3 yard line. The Trace 3 yard line, that is, which is not good, folks. 3rd and 8 coming up. See if Robinette, they get a little aggressive and try to pass the ball. Fake handoff, slant pattern. They got it, caught, and that's Guess, and he gets it out to around the 15, and that's going to be more than enough for a 1st down. So Guess will make the reception, and that's the 2nd 1st down for Miami Trace in the game. After that, Robinette now. 2 for 4, 47 yards. Gives Miami Trace a little room. Another pass. Oh, intercepted by Greenfield. And it's down around the 25-yard line. An interception by Riley Cummings, number 30 for Greenfield McClain. So Cummings with the interception gets it back a couple yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Greenfield McClain Tigers after the turnover, and they will take over after the interception. Wow. So Cummings with the interception there for Greenfield McClain. That, by the way, is his 2nd interception in 2 weeks. He had one last week down against Jackson, guys. Their senior night. There's the snap to Penwell. He's just going to lower his head and go right behind center, and we'll pick up about, let's give him 2.5, 3 yards. So Penwell with the pickup. That's his 3rd carry of the game. Got him 3 carries, 41 yards unofficially here. I'll bring up a second. Now they're going to give him just 1. I gave him 3, so we'll split the difference and give him 2. What do you say? In motion. There's the handoff. Here goes Potts down the left side. The big boy carries it all the way in. 18-yard touchdown run by Andrew Potts. And that makes it now 7-6. Oh, my goodness. This young man, what a talent. As we mentioned, he had some over 1,000 some yards rushing coming into the game. That's his 12th touchdown of the year. He's 6 foot, and he's 220 pounds. So, let's see what McClain's going to do here. They're going to go for 1. Coach Penwell said, yep, let's just go ahead for the tie. It's way too early to start getting real fancy here, you know. So, they'll get the kicker in. Officials are saying, let's pick it up here a little bit, boys. Shouldn't take you that long to make a decision. I don't know why they're doing a conference on the sideline for McClain. All right, so a dead ball penalty was called after the touchdown, and it will be marked off on the kickoff. That's why the delay. Isn't technology great when the umps get on there and actually tell everybody what's going on? So with that, Greenfield back within 7-6. And David, they're going for 2. Whoa. Well, you got the big boy back there. Potts. See what they're going to do. There's the handoff, and it's good. The 2-point conversion is good by Greenfield McClain as they took it behind the left side and made it. And that makes the score now 8-7. Greenfield McClain has taken the lead over Miami Trace. Timeout on the field. Timeout as well, right here on WCHC.
With fruit and vegetables coming out of the garden, now's the time to come to Kirk's Furniture for your next General Electric major appliances. We have a complete full line of refrigerators, side-by-sides, bottom freezers, or the French door models, chest freezers or upright freezers, available in all sizes. Stop by this week and see our complete selection of General Electric products. That's at Kirk's Furniture in New Holland, your independent General Electric dealer since 1935. Free delivery and setup in our trading area. We service what we sell.
Eight to 7, Greenfield leads. No, it's not a baseball score, that's a football score. Ball's kicked off after the penalty at the Miami Trace 45-yard line. Panthers take it inside the 5, coming around the left side, and on the go is Gage Stuckey. He's across midfield. He's going down the sideline, and he's finally going to be forced out of bounds at about the Greenfield 20-yard line. So even though Greenfield McClain was way inside the Trace territory after the 15-yard penalty, Miami Trace showed no fear, and Stuckey runs it back 40, 50, 60, 70, 75-yard kickoff return. 1st and 10, ball at the 20. The 2-point conversion, by the way, was by Penwell, the quarterback. I apologize. I have trouble sometimes picking up the numbers here, so David's trying to help me out a little bit. So the touchdown run was 18 yards by Potts, and then Penwell the 2-point conversion. Now here comes Asher for Miami Trace. Right side, down the middle. Finally brought down by Emerson Yates again. Pickup of 8 yards. So 2nd and 2 coming up after the 8-yard pickup by LeBeau. Needs about 300-plus yards in the next 3 games. Yeah, if they get to the playoffs to get that 1,000 mark. Robinette keeps it, comes around the roll in, and then turning up and just give him a little spin move and throwing him down. Again, it's Emerson Yates. Is he the only guy playing? Him and Potts and Penwell? That's only 3 names it seems like I've mentioned so far. So it brings a loss of about 3 on the play to Robinette. So that will bring up a 3rd and 5, ball at the Greenfield 15-yard line, as we're now 70 seconds away from the first period of play, and a surprising 8-7 Greenfield McClain lead. Robinette rolls to his left, sees wide open, little dump throw, and it's touchdown. Official took a little time, but Garrett Guess with another catch. A 15-yard. Okay, so don't put that celebration on right yet. They're saying that possibly he went past the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. That was a kind of a late flag. And as usual, the officials have a. So that's an illegal forward pass. That's a loss of down. So that will bring up 4th down for the Panthers, right? So it'll be 4th and 9. So another penalty. Again, illegal forward pass. They're putting it back to the 19-yard line, and they're going to bring in Mr. Warnock, see if he can add to his field goal total. The ball will be down at around the 25 with the goalpost. It'll be a 35-yard attempt. High snap, gets it. Boy, there was no doubt about that one. That almost hit the scoreboard. That was probably about a 45-yarder. It's good, and the score now, it's Miami Trace 10, Greenfield 8 after the, well, hold on a second. We got another flag on the field. So don't leave yet here, David. Another conference. It may be against Greenfield. We'll see what happens as both teams have gone to the sidelines. So we'll see what's called. The field goal is going to be good. It's called roughing the kicker. It's a 15-yard penalty. Trace, just keep the points on the board. Penalty will be against Greenfield. When we come back in 30 seconds right here on WCHC.
It's Vanessa Summers, and when my father opened Summers Funeral Home in 1991, my family promised that in the time of need, we would offer thoughtful, caring, and respectful services to those left behind in dealing with the pain and decision-making. Now, 30 years later, we still make it our commitment to you to treat everyone with the utmost professional care that we can provide. In your time of need, please remember we are here for you. Summers Funeral Home at 223 West Market Street, Washington Courthouse, Ohio, 43160, and please call us at 740-335-6078.
There's the kickoff by Warnock. And that one is high in the air, and finally Greenfield gets it at about the 10 and brings it out to around the 30-yard line. We said the penalty was on Greenfield. They said it occurred after the kick by Miami Trace, a personal foul. They said personal foul. I did not hear him say it was Trace. So Trace picks up the penalty. So that's why they had to move it back 15 yards. So now Miami Trace has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penalties in this game, 30, 40, 50 yards. So the field goal does count, so it's still 10-8. Greenfield with the ball. 1st and 10 at the 25. There's the snap, handoff, and big room for the big boy, and that is Potts, and he will get it all the way down to around the 44-yard line. So a 20-yard run by Andrew Potts of the Greenfield McClain Tigers, and that is yet another first down for McClain. We're down to about 30 seconds left here. David says that they're in the second quarter down at Jackson, and it is a blowout. The Ironmen are up 28-0 over Washington Courthouse in the second period. Wow. We'll keep an eye on that game as well. Handoff, Potts again right up the middle. He's rumbling, he's tumbling, he's in Trace territory, and finally is brought down by about 4 or 5 different Panther players. They don't have anyone can match up with that 220-pound frame as the fight gets down to the last second, and that will be a pickup of, let me see where they marked the ball at here, 40-yard line, 10. That will be a 16-yard pickup by Potts, and yet another first down. That's 3. And with 1 second left, we have a quick time here as someone from Miami Trace is shaken up on the play. Potts, 4 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown, David. Wow. So clock stops with exactly 1 second left. Coach Williams heading, as you can see him with the white jacket on, coming out, concerned about one of his players. But at least 4 to 5 players there for Miami Trace had to bring Potts down. I think I've seen Potts one other time when he was earlier in his playing career, and I mean, he's put some balk on, but he keeps those legs going, and it's just hard to bring him down. You almost got to hit him low, and everybody's trying to get him high, and that's why he's picking up. He's been over 1,000 yards rushing so far this season. Meanwhile, a delay on the field once again as we have a Miami Trace player shaken up. In case you're just tuning in real quickly, let's recap for you. I think I've got all my stats correct. At the 7:02 mark, Robinette, a 35-yard pass play to Jake Manbeaver, made the score 6-0. Warnock with the extra point made it 7-0. Then Greenfield had an interception by Cummins, setting the ball up at the 20-yard line. They scored 3 plays later on a touchdown run by Potts from 18 yards out at the 2:32 mark. And then Greenfield decides to go for the 2-point conversion, and quarterback Caden Pinwell stretched the ball, David. I remember seeing that, kind of like you see in the NFL, where they want to just get over the end zone line. And Pinwell did carry it and carried it over, and that made it 8-7. And then Warnock just kicked a 35-yard field goal at the 52nd mark to make it 10-8. But a penalty by Miami Trace after the kick did not take the points off. And right now, oh boy, it's not looking good here, as it looks like they may get the live squad over here, as several individuals are attending to him. And see, well, he's up, and Miami Trace there, that being William Dawes. So he's going to walk off, but they may get the live squad over here just to double check him, make sure he's okay. He gave everybody a little scare, though, didn't he, huh? The last thing you want is to see some injuries here, especially this late in the season. see the athletic director, Aaron Hammond, over trying to get the live squad at least come over and check him out. And the official says, just go ahead and run the clock, and that's going to end the first period of play. So we've got one in the books. And here at senior night at Miami Trace at Tony's Welding Fabrication Stadium. Our score after one, it's kind of a surprise. Miami Trace leads Greenfield McClain 10-8. You're listening to Fayette County Youth Sports here on WCHC.
We should go bowl and have the best pizza in Fayette County tonight.
Ugh, I don't want to go to 2 places.
Well, we don't have to. The best pizza in Fayette County comes from the local pizzeria, Amori's Pizzeria, just inside Leo Lanes.
Really? No way.
Yes way. Come on in and grab a lane and the best pizza in town. Leo Lanes and Amori's Pizzeria, located right across from the Fayette County Fairgrounds.
Call Leella Lanes at 740-335-2580 to order your pizza today.
Well, the score has just been introduced to the crowd here, and I would say that everyone kind of was happy to hear that score, even the Greenfield folks. Next week, Miami Trace will be at Washington Courthouse, and we'll have it here on WCHC. We hope you join us. We'll take the air at approximately 6:45. So, Dawes walks off on his own power, and Greenfield will take over as we begin the second period of play, 1st and 10 at the Trace 39. And Penwell around behind the guard and tackle on the right side and picks up some real estate. Looks like about a 5-yard pickup. So I'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Basically, it looks like Greenfield's going back the old style offense. We've seen them for years, David. We're just going to run at you. And we'll keep running at you until you stop us. If you got some backs back there that can do the job, Trace is going to have to be able, to be able to defend that. We got whistles all over the place. And dead ball. Well, you look, yep. 5-yard penalty on Greenfield. No check out. Make a Trace. Trace jumps off sides. So that is yet another penalty by Miami Trace. Man, I'm going to run out of room on yards of penalties here. This keeps up. So offsides on Miami Trace, and it's 1st and 5 at the 29-yard line. First down via the penalty. High snap, and going down and making sure nothing happens is Penwell, as that was a high snap from the center. So Penwell will end up losing about 9 yards on the play on the high snap. So a fumble by McClain, but they did not lose it. So I'll bring up a 2nd and 19, ball at the Miami Trace 38-yard line. Rolling to his left, Penwell. Several Panthers looked like they had him blocked, and somehow he just peeled off a little bit, picked up a few extra yards. It looked like there that Higher, and also I think it was Lear had him stood up, and somehow Penwell kind of slipped by him a little bit and picked up some yardage. So he picks up 5, and that'll make it 3rd down. Penwell back to pass, and the ball's knocked in the air, and it is almost intercepted. Oh, my. You had at least 2 Panthers that could have picked that one off. Yeah. Well, that's why you practice those tipping drills. But that one didn't work, did it? At least for the Miami Trace team, as it looked like it was Riston LeBeau and also Gage Stuckey in the secondary. Both got a hand on the ball, knocked it up in the air, but neither one could pull it down. And with the ball at the Trace 39, it's 4th and long. Greenfield's, unless they don't have a field goal kicker, they might as well go ahead and go for it. Down by 2. There's the throw. There it is toward the end zone, and that one's picked off. And that one is inside the 5-yard line. As the Panthers picking that one off will be Austin Bodecker. So Bodecker picks it off at about the 3 and brings it out to about the 11-yard line. So Penwell unofficially is 0 for 6. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, my goodness. A personal foul on Miami Trace. Roughing the passer. And so instead of the interception, wiped out, Greenfield gets the ball back. So another 15-yard penalty on Miami Trace. And let's be blunt. The interception and then the penalties has kept Greenfield in this game. So the roughing the passer on the Panthers puts Greenfield 1st and 10 at the Trace 19-yard line. Penwell cuts behind his left tackle and will pick up a few yards. And coming up and making the tackle was Cameron Casto, number 51. That's a pickup of 4, though, for Penwell. 16, 21, 21. I've got him 6 carries, 55 yards so far. So 2nd and 6, ball at the Trace 15-yard line. Little shuffle over to Potts, and he's going to be forced out of bounds at about the 15. So there may be no gain on the play. I got him 5 carries unofficially for 57 yards. So they got 2 backs, 50-some yards each. So over 100 yards rushing for Greenfield McClain here in the first half. And we still got 8:40 left in the first half of play. 3rd and 6 coming up now for the McClain Tigers. Ball still at the 15-yard line for Miami Trace. There's the snap. Here comes Penwell, right side. Potts made a beautiful play up front and gets it down to around the 10-yard line. And I'm telling you, Andrew Potts, what a beautiful lead tackle he made. He wiped out the one tackle of Trace, the defensive tackle. I think he's on the ground. And that allowed for possible first down by the McClain Tigers. In fact, they're going to mark it at the 10, so he's going to be about a yard short. And here comes the trainers again all the way across and up. And that's Manbeaver, who caught the touchdown pass. He's kind of doing this with his, I don't know why I'm doing the motion. You can't see me. She can see it. Yeah, I'm sitting here going like that. And I said, camera's not on me. I don't know why I'm doing that. But anyway, it brings up a 4th and 1. Well, we'll keep that for the old blooper tape, won't we? Oh, mercy. 35-0 Jackson over Washington Courthouse. My goodness. 35-0. My. 4th and 2. Clock running. Handoff. And, oh, boy, that was easy. As right behind the center. And that, of course, is Mr. Potts. He'll pick up easily about 5 yards. And another first down for Greenfield McClain. Now they're quickly getting to the line of scrimmage. Kind of a little hurry up. Potts again, this time behind the right guard. We got flags, as usual, all over the place. And that'll stop the clock at 7:50. I don't care if a game's a blowout or it's a close game. When these two schools play each other, there's just something about the referees and the flags. I've been around long enough. You know, you do sports for about almost 40 years. And you've seen these series. You just kind of know. certain rivalries have certain things that happen. Well, this one's going to be on McClain, as we're going to take a walk back here. So I'll bring it all the way back to the 18-yard line. So a 15-yard penalty on McClain. And it'll be first and goal from the 18. And now McClain says, let's call timeout. So Keith Penwell says, we want to have a little conference. 7:40 left in the first half. Our score, Miami Trace 10, Greenfield 8. You're watching Fayette County Youth Sports on WCHC.
Hello, I'm Tara Ivers from Fayette County Early Learning Center, and we are now enrolling for several of our programs. We have a home-based program that serves pregnant moms through children age 3. We also have a center-based Head Start program that serves children in our program ages 3 to 5. We have a partnership with Fayette County, Highland County, and Clinton County, where we work with child care programs to enroll children 6 weeks to 3 in our center-based program. So please call us at 740-335-7282. We'll help you enroll. Thank you.
All right, here's the scenario. First and goal, ball at the 18 after a penalty on McClain, moves the ball back. Fake handoff by Penwell, and then he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage, as there was some confusion, I think, between him and Potts, as the line did not block out whatsoever. Give Austin Etzler a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, number 42. That will be a pickup, or I should say a loss of 6 yards to Penwell. Clock continues to roll as we're about 7 minutes left here in the first half of play. In a 10-8 Miami Trace lead. High snap again. That's the second time. This time, though, Penwell's able to pull it down behind the right guard and finally gets close to the 20. And a good tackle there by Miami Trace. Bryson Sheets, number 53, in on the tackle. So that will bring up third and goal at about the 20-yard. Pickup of about 5 on that. So they got a little of that yardage they lost on the tackle behind the line. Potts, he's not going to get anything. Good play by Miami Trace. That in line really shutting down, keeping from penetrating. And once again, that's Etzler, number 42, again on the tackle. That's 2 in a row for him. Don't forget, after the game, we'll be announcing our Epifano McDonald Star of the Game. Hey, it's open to everybody, and we'll see if one of these young men will win that award. Now be after we go the stats and how the action goes, and announce that during our post-game program. All right. No gain by Potts. They'll bring up fourth and goal, and they're going to try to go for a field goal here. And this will be Emerson Yates. I believe this may be the first time, because all the stats I've looked at, I have not seen Greenfield even attempt a field goal this year. So I don't know if they don't have a kicker, because what? They went for the 2 points down here, didn't they, David? Makes you kind of wonder why they didn't go for the PAT. So anyway, conference talk here now. Coach Penwell, the young men. And what's turned out to be a pretty nice evening. It's a little chilly right now. Sun went down just right around kickoff time. And that really cooled it off about, 10 degrees at least. So after the brief conference, looks like we're going to try it again. Max Eckenberry will be the holder, and again, Emerson Yates, a senior, will try to kick the field goal. There's the snap, there's the kick, and it is long, and it is good. The line of scrimmage was where it was kicked was 27 plus 10, a 37-yard field goal. And so with 5:24 left here in the first half of play, oh boy, it's a close one here. Greenfield takes the lead 11-10 on WCHC.
A new way to healthcare is here. ProMedica Home Health, formerly Heartland Hospice, works on enriching lives one patient at a time. With office locations at 208 North Fayette Street, Washington Courthouse, and in Circleville, ProMedica provides care wherever our patients call home. Our services serve a 7-county Central Ohio area. As a local home health and hospice provider, ProMedica is ready to offer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week service for your healthcare needs. Contact them at 866-498-6456. That's 866-498-6456. ProMedica Home Health, Washington Courthouse and Circleville.
Back here at Miami Trace, 11-10. Greenfield, after that 37-yard field goal by Yates, has taken the lead over Miami Trace. Both teams with a field goal. Squibbler at the 34. Mr. Bodecker at the 30. Gets a good return. He's across midfield. He's down into Greenfield territory and will finally be pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. I'm looking to see if there's any flags, since that's what we've been having all evening. Nope, no flags, so the good return there. So return of about, let's see, 20, 30, about 35 yards, as they did not want to kick away. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Greenfield 35-yard line. So a 35-yard touchdown pass to Membeaver and a 35-yard field goal by Warnock and the PAT, and that's the 10 points for Miami Trace. And they're in excellent territory. Handoff, Asher LeBeau. May have got past the line of scrimmage to pick up a yard on that play. 7th carry in the contest for him. 37 yards unofficially in the rushing category for Asher. Second. Short 9 coming up. Snap, pitch. Asher goes outside, 30, 25, 20. Finally brought out of bounds between the 17 and 18-yard line. And now we've got a whistle, and we've got a player down again. This time it's Greenfield McClain. Oh, my goodness. 42-0. Jackson has scored again, and it's 2.5 minutes left in the half. Wow. Meanwhile, the young man for McClain. Well, we got here a penalty against Miami Trace after the play. No, they're going to bring it all the way back to the 43. Another personal foul, 15-yarder. We'll bring it 2nd and 18. So the good run there by Asher LeBeau wiped out because of the penalty. Robinette rolls right side, pass wide open, guess, and he is out of bounds at about the 24. So that will be a pickup of 19 yards on that pass play. Garrett has picked up 2 double digits. They're going to say that's enough for the first down. He needed 18, he got 19. And anybody's math book, 19 is one more than 18, I believe, David, so that means first down. Robinette There's the handoff. Asher, right up the middle, pickup of about couple. Clock continues to roll. 4:15 left here in the first half of play. An 11-10 Greenfield lead. That's probably about as shocking as that Jackson Courthouse score, 42-0, wouldn't you think, David? Right now. Asher, lone back with Robinette. Snap, pitch, left side. Asher sees it. They're watching the line, and I don't see a flag. And officials are hearing from the McClain fans holding. Oh, got another flag again. It's around the 20-yard line. That's another holding. That's another 10-yard pickup, or loss, I should say, after another run. So it's 2nd and 15. So give LeBeau 5-yard pickup on that play, net 5 yards, but the penalty of 10. And right now, Miami Trace is pushing almost 75 yards in penalties in the first half. Robinette, fake handoff, goes back, looks down. There's the throw. Oh, almost picked off. Oh, my goodness. Riley Cummins almost had his second interception of the game. I mean, that ball was right to him, and he couldn't hold it. And what happened on that play, Miami Trace, Robinette broke to his left, and I think the pass was intended to May, but I think Colton went right, and he was supposed to go left, and Cummins is standing there all alone like, ball, come to me. Unfortunately, it hit his chest, and he couldn't hold on to it. So, big break there for the Panthers. 3rd and 15. Ball to Greenfield 30. Robinette again rolls. Look out from behind. He's got a receiver, and it's out there, and it will be inside, as that's to Landon Cope, number 33. His first catch of the contest. Pickup of a 13. And that will bring up a 4th and about 2. Well, Warnock's already kicked a 35-yard field goal. And I know Sinners say that. I look down the field, David, and there he is. He's ready to go. It's nice to have that kind of a tool, you know, where you can just bring a guy off and let him go. So this will be about a 30-plus yard field goal. It's high. It is long. It is good, baby. And another field goal, and Warnock will make it a 32-yard field goal. And our score now, it's Miami Trace 13, Greenfield 11. No, we're not doing basketball. This is a football score. And you're watching Fayette County Youth Sports on WCHC.
M&M Fasteners has been supplying quality fasteners across the United States since 1996. M&M supplies our customers with all types of fasteners, from standard nuts and bolts to specials per your prints. M&M Fasteners is a complete fastener importer and distributor that can custom tailor our services to meet your customer needs. Whether it's one part or 1,000 parts to be customized for a special job, M&M can thread, turn, mill, drill, and weld parts to meet your specifications. For details, call us at 740-335-1641 or see us at our website at mmfast.com.
Back here at Miami Trace, and what's kind of turning up to be a battle of field goals right now. Warnock with his second field goal, that was a 34-yard, and makes it now 16-11, favor of the Panthers, and the ball's, yeah, I'm going to say the scoreboard's got 16-11. That's incorrect. It's 13-11. I had to do a double take. I thought, wait a minute. You know, I make mistakes. I'll be the first to admit it. People, listen, they know I make mistakes. We call that youngisms, right, David? But it's expected, yes. I have a reputation. I will make mistakes, but you all love me. But anyway, somebody that's running the scoreboard has got it wrong. It's 13-11. And they have not changed it yet. Now the officials, I think somebody got their attention, said, hey, they added 3 more points than not supposed to be. First and 10, ball will be at the 23-yard line. I have no idea why they have not changed that scoreboard yet. It's clearly 13-11. And now the official has to get on the PA speaker and say, hey, it's 13-11, sir. And now they changed the scoreboard. Well, I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one that's going to make a mistake tonight during this game. That is comforting. All right, so Greenfield takes over, first and 10. And up the middle, Potts, nice run, across the 30, 35, 36-yard pickup. So a pickup there of about 14 yards for Potts, and another first down for Greenfield. So that is 5 first downs via the rush, 2 by penalties for Greenfield McClain tonight. They've got 7. Miami Trace, I've got them for only 3. 2 by pass and 1 by rushing. So first and 10. Ball at the Greenfield 37-yard line. 2.5 left here in the first half. Penwell keeps it behind the left side of the line. Just puts his head down and says, you got to stop me. And finally, Miami Trace does. And that's Stephen Leary on the tackle for the Panthers, number 67. Just about 2 minutes left here in the first half of play. Halftime, we'll pick up the bands as part of our Kirk's Furniture halftime show and also update your stats and also some scores. We've already had a couple shockers here tonight, haven't we, involving our Fayette County schools. Keeper, Penwell, and gets it back to the 45-yard line. So that might have been pickup of about 2. And that will bring up a third down and a short 2. So coming in with the play for McClain. Burchett, number 15. Handoff, Penwell again, and this time again he keeps the ball, tries to get behind center. Miami Trace shoots the gap, and coming up and getting the tackle is Itzler, number 42. That's 4 times I've said Austin's name this quarter. He may be in the running for the Player of the Game award. You never know. Don't necessarily have to go to an offensive player. It can go to defensive player. We've had that a few times. We'll see how the second half develops. So with timeout now on the field by Miami Trace, we'll just keep it right here. We'll be busy next week. We're not done. Miami Trace girls volleyball team was in the sectional finals. They'll take on the Waverly Tigers. That's Wednesday night. That's a 6 o'clock start. We'll take the air at about 5:50. We had a chance to broadcast Waverly and Washington Courthouse on Monday night. Boy, they got some good athletes. So that should be a good contest. Trace already beat Waverly at Waverly, I believe, earlier in the season, so it'll be kind of a rematch. So it's Waverly at Miami Trace girls sectional volleyball action tournament. That's on Wednesday night. The next Friday night will be at Gardner Park for the Battle of the Black and Blue with Miami Trace and Courthouse. And, of course, the team that wins the next day will be up at the Epifano McDonald's in Jeffersonville for the McDonald's Trophy presentation. Well, they're going for it on 4th down. Oh, I think they got it short. I don't think Potts got the 2 yards he's needed. They're marking it just past the 46, and he needed a good 2, and he got about, oh, boy, Are they going to? No, it's going to be about a half yard short. And the official says, let's measure it. Well, take that back. They're not going to measure it because we got a Trace player down on the field again. How many Trace players have we seen down tonight? 3? And Greenfield's had, well, we had one before the game during warm-ups and another one here on the side. So 58 seconds left, and another Miami Trace player down on the field. Well, Greenfield says we want it measured. If you're doing an eye test, though, you can see from here it's clearly short. It has to go past the 46. It needs to get to about the 47, and it's between the 46 and 47-yard line. And yet with another player shaken up, once again we see Mr. Hammond out. They're going to help him up, and that's going to be Brady Sheets, number 56. He's limping off a little bit, but he's going off on his own power, and that's always a good sign. So what are they going to do here? Well, they're not even going to measure it. They said he was short. First down, Miami Trace. Give Potts a yard. He needed at least almost 2. So Miami Trace will take over. 1st and 10, under 1 minute left in the first half. A 13-11 lead. Ball will be at the Greenfield 46-yard line. Robinette almost picked off again by Cummings. It went in and out of his hands, and then behind him was Garrett Guest, and he couldn't pull it in. So fortunately for Robinette, Cummings has kind of had butterfingers. He's picked him off once, but he could have had 3 interceptions by now. 54 seconds now left after the incomplete pass. Clock stops, of course. Robinette looks over the McClain defense. Asher stays in, blocks. They're going to go for it. Throw down the right sideline and making a beautiful catch. And the official says he caught it, and that is Landon Cope. So Cope will catch the ball at the 20-yard line, and that is about a 26-yard pass, and that's a first down for Miami Trace. Cope, 2 catches, 39 yards. 3rd first down via the pass pattern by Miami Trace. Stops the clock as Landon went out of bounds with the clock at 48 seconds. So Trace trying to get another score before they go in the locker room. Little down and out pattern to Garrett Guest. Good. Pick up of about the 13. They're going to give him about 5-yard pickup. So that's what we'll put down as what he got too. So Trace, ball now at the McClain 14, they say. So Robinette in the passing mode. Fake handoff under some pressure, and they bring him down. And Trace is going to have to get a quick timeout here if they want to stop that clock. As coming up and making a real good defensive play there for the McClain Tigers. Looks like Michael Stevenson of number 56, a 6'5", 225 senior. So Stevenson with the sack behind the line, and that stops the clock at the 20-yard line at 37 seconds, back in 30 here on WCHC.
Millions of Ohioans are safer because they've received the COVID-19 vaccine. As a pediatrician, I recommend kids 12 and older get the vaccine too.
It will help protect them from COVID-19 and help prevent them from spreading it.
The vaccine makes our community safer, and it's helping get us back to normal.
That's why, as a pediatrician and a mom, I've had my kids vaccinated.
I have too. If you have any questions, talk to your child's doctor.
Don't hesitate. Vaccinate.
All right, we're back here at Miami Trace. Tony Weldon's Fabrication Stadium. It's been home of the Panthers, what now, for 4 years? 4 years, I think it's been out here. So it brings up a 3rd and 11 ball at the 20 after the quarterback sack. Robinette, fake handoff LeBeau, slant pattern, and it's intercepted again by McClain. And it's inside the 10-yard line, and coming up is D.J. Frost, number 7. J.D. Frost, a senior with the pick, and Robinette has thrown yet another interception. Wow. So Cummings has 1, could have had 3 because he dropped 1 and the other one just went by his hands. That time, no doubt, Frost picked that one up. And the trend we're seeing right here, David, is that all these interceptions, the receivers are either going the wrong route or something because the guys intercepted, they're clearly open. No one's around him for Miami Trace. There's just not a communication going on. Now, you're down 13-11. You got the ball at the 9-yard line. If you're Greenfield, I would say you probably just down the ball, go to the locker room, be happy where you're at. And that's what's going to do as Penwell will take the knee. The clock will roll out. We're down to 20 seconds. They don't have to run another play, and that will end the first half of play. Well, kind of a surprise evening for our Fayette County schools. Miami Trace has won 17 of the last 19 meetings between these two teams. Well, they're in a dogfight with the McClain Tigers. Meanwhile, Jackson is blowing the Blue Lions out. We'll have some scores from around the area a little bit later on. But coming up next, the bands and the Kirk's Furniture halftime show. Stay with us right here on WCHC. Epiphana McDonald's of Fayette County in Jamestown has openings for individuals looking to grow with one of the top companies in the world. Epiphana McDonald's now has available crew positions at our Jeffersonville location starting at $16 per hour. If you're looking for management opportunities, positions are available starting at $18 per hour. Benefits include school tuition assistance, free meals and uniform, paid training. Check out our McDonald's of Fayette County, Ohio Facebook page. Epiphana McDonald's. I'm loving it. Wondering what comes next after high school? At Laurel Oaks Career Campus, you can forge a successful career path. Start as a junior and graduate with opportunities in dental assistance, education, construction, healthcare, exercise science, and more. Earn a career certification and college credit. What comes next is up to you. Open up a world of possibilities and discover your greatness. Go to greatoaks.com to find out more. That's greatoaks.com. It's now time for the Kirk's Furniture New Holland's halftime show, presented by Kirk's Furniture in New Holland. Now with new hours. Open Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings till 7 p.m., Tuesday, Friday, and Saturdays till 4 p.m., and of course, closed on Sundays. All right, we're back here at Miami Trace. Our score at halftime. The Panthers lead at 13-11. And, of course, one of the features we always like to do during the Kirk's Furniture halftime show is feature the hardworking young men and women that make up our bands. Right now, the Greenfield McClain Tigers are out on the field. Let's see if we can pick up some of their halftime show.
Our Tigerette captain is Rochelle Priest with co-captains Abby Mustard and Vivian Dennis. The assistant field commander is Emily Howard, and our 2022 field commander is Ava Calhoun. Tonight we honor our 2023 senior band, Tigerettes and Majorettes, with a show selected by them to highlight their status as girl bosses. We open things up with the Duchess, that held it down as a member of the Black Eyed Peas and a solo artist. Fergie hit number 1 with this tune that describes our seniors. Here is Glamorous. next we highlight our Tigerettes and put the spotlight on our seniors. What bigger industry icon could you ask for than Lady Gaga? The ladies Smile, Sparkle, and Shake, arguably the best pop single from 2009. Here is Bad Romance.
Scores that we have for you tonight. St. Trace on top of Peyton Valley that have 28-13 your score there. Huntington at the half over the Warriors of Medina 28-0 as that score on top of West Fall 26. Pikes up there by 2 and Union
Our senior show with an absolute anthem from 2017. Any girl boss can tell you this triple platinum hit has it all and then some. Featuring our Sousaboom section from Demi Lovato, we ask, what's wrong with being confident? gentlemen, the pride of Highland County, the McClain Marching Tigers and Tigerettes.
All right, the McClain band there for you during the halftime show. We started doing that little dance routine. I looked at Dave and I said, wait a minute, what's going on? He said, the band director's probably know you, Brad. That's probably where they're going. We'll find out if he is. That's a nice little feature. Nice to see that as the band adds to their halftime. Real quickly, let's update you on some of the area scores that we have for you. First of all, in the FAC, of course, right here at Miami Trace, the Panthers are up 13-11 over Greenfield. At halftime, Jackson leads Washington Courthouse 42-0. That one's, people's going to shake their heads. We'll have to find out what the details there. A lot of turnovers, or the defense just simply cannot stop Jackson. I don't know. Chillicothe's rebounding. They're leading Hillsborough right now by a score of 34-6. Other scores from around the area, we can tell you that East Clinton's getting beat by Claremont Northeast 29-6. Fairbanks is leading West Jefferson 7-3. Fort Fry is leading Logan 22-7. Western Brown over Wilmington 35-21. Wilmington went into that game with a 5-game winning streak. Clinton Massey, who looked like they might be close to elimination after starting the season 0-4. Now they're leading New Richmond 14-7. They could pick up some big points in the rankings if they hold on. South Point over Portsmouth 21-7. Worthington Christian over Rosecrans 47-7. Fairfield Union over Circleville 24-6. Burnt Union over Grove City Christian 21-7. It is Ironton leading Gallia Academy 22-27-7. Harvest Prep 28, Licking Heights 0. Hamilton Township over Liberty Union, 21-14. Reading over Grandview Heights 37-0. And Fairfield Christian over Miller 29-17. Greenfield is beating Springfield Central Catholic 31-0. Bloom Carroll over Tays Valley 21-13. Uniota's leading Ross Southeastern 42-0. That's your halftime scores. Now let's go back on the field. Let's pick up the Miami Trace Band, part of the Kirk's Furniture halftime show.
Next, here is a song heard often this time of year, Michael Jackson's Thriller. close our show this evening, Feeling Good, with a song recorded by Lizzo.
Press box 408 left here. Jackson Bacon 42 buck halftime. Jackson Bacon 42 buck halftime show. We were talking before the break about
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the 2022 Miami Trace Marching Panther Pride and our graduating seniors. We will forever be grateful for your inspiration.
Halftime, it's Miami Trace 13, Greenfield 11. After this from Kirk's Furniture, we'll come back and we'll give you a summary of the first half stats and might be some surprising numbers for you. Stay with us right here on WCHC.
With fruit and vegetables coming out of the garden, now's the time to come to Kirk's Furniture for your next General Electric major appliances. We have a complete full line of refrigerators, side-by-sides, bottom freezers, or the French door models, chest freezers or upright freezers available in all sizes. Stop by this week and see our complete selection of General Electric products. That's at Kirk's Furniture in New Holland, your independent General Electric dealer since 1935. Free delivery and setup in our trading area. We service what we sell.
Well, back here at Miami Trace, as both teams have come out of the locker room and starting to loosen things up as the bands are making their way off the sidelines real quickly. Let's give you some unofficial statistics. First of all, unofficially, for Miami Trace, Ashley LeBeau is leading rusher for the Panthers. He has 8 carries for 42 yards. We have Robinette, 3 carries unofficially for -9 yards. A couple of those, of course, were tackles for loss behind line of scrimmage. You had 42, take 9 away from it, you got what, 33? And that's what we got here as far as yardage concerned. Meanwhile, Robinette is 6 for 11 in the passing department. I have him unofficially with 97 yards for 1 touchdown. Of course, that 35-yard strike that put the Panthers on the scoreboard in the first period of play. For 35 yards to, of course, Jake Manbeavers. And then, of course, has had 2 passes picked off, one by Cummins and another one by Frost. And so it was he is really struggling a little bit as far the first half of play. Cummins, in fact, of Greenfield had 2 other interceptions that he could possibly have had, but the ball bounced off or he just couldn't get a hand on it. So unofficially, I've got Miami Trace with 22 offensive plays for 130 yards. Greenfield McClain, I've got Potts, 9 carries, 77 yards. I've got Penwell, 9 carries, 55 yards. That's a balanced attack, wouldn't you say? Each of them with 9 carries, and he's got 55 yards. That's 18 offensive rush plays for 132 yards. So they have 132 yards. Well, Trace has got 130 in total offense. Meanwhile, Penwell's 0 for 6 in the passing department, and he has not thrown an interception. But Potts has scored on an 18-yard touchdown run, and then Penwell scored on a 2-point conversion that put the team up 8-6. And then Miami Trace came back, and they got a field goal from Warnock. Then Greenfield came back. They got a field goal. And from, let me see, I believe that was Owens. Let me see. No, Yates, number 24. And then Trace comes back and gets another field goal from Warnock. So that's where we're at, 13-11, your score. Penalties, Miami Trace, they have got to do something about these penalties. They're keeping Greenfield in the game, not to just be blunt about it, as they've had 9 penalties now for 90 yards. And how many of those penalties have been like 15-yarders that has really taken them out of their offensive flow? Meanwhile, for McClain, they have only 3 penalties for 25 yards. First downs, 5 first downs via the ground by McClain, 2 passing, total 7 for Greenfield on first downs. Miami Trace, I've got them only 1 by rushing, 3 by passing for a total of 4. So that's where we're at right now. Miami Trace, again, with 2 turnovers. Miami Trace, I should say Greenfield McClain, 0. Final seconds ticking off, and our thanks to Bruce and Randy Kirk out of Kirk's Furniture in New Holland, our halftime sponsors during all of our football, soccer, and also basketball broadcast. 49-7 now with 6:40 left in the third period of play. That, of course, is going to be a running clock, so that game's going to get done real early. But Jackson leads 49-7 with 6 minutes plus in the third. So hopefully those folks get done, or if they're tired of it, they're tuned over to us and they're listening to us do a little bit closer game. What do you think there, David? We'd like to get some high viewership here. All right, so we're ready to get started as we begin the second half of play. Miami Trace will be kicking off, Warnock, and this one will be going between a couple of McClain players. They'll just let it go on into the end zone, and that will give McClain the ball, 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Well, we alluded to the fact in the first half of play, like I said, we've been around forever, it seems like. So we've seen these two teams play football over the years. Doesn't matter who coaches, but Greenfield just likes to run, and when they get tired, they run again. And that has been very productive for them here this evening against the Miami Trace, and has kept themselves in the game 13-11. So 1st and 10, we're ready to go here in the second half of play. And looked like it was going to be tackled in the backfield, but able to make some move. Again, that will be Potts. So he looked like he was going to be dropped for a yard loss, and he ends up getting a 3-yard gain. My goodness. Unbelievable. Unofficially now 10 carries for him with about 80 yards. Leading rusher in the game. Second down. Comes around to the right side. Nice move by Potts. Gets by. He's around the 30, the 40, midfield. Trace finally, it's Bodecker who forcefully had to force him out of bounds. But we got a flag, and I think it's going to be brought all the way back. I'm telling you, Potts made a beautiful move. And that's going to be a holding against Greenfield. Maybe that's one of the reasons he was able to get that nice run. Because one of his teammates was holding Trace. So a 10-yard penalty there. And that will bring the ball all the way back to the 13. Yep. So it happened right at the scrimmage line. So it'll be second and 17 now. Two backs with Pinwell in the backfield. Handoff, and not getting too much room here. And that is a new, Luke Duman, a senior. That's his first carry. So Duman with the carry and no gain on the play. Will bring up second and about 17. I hate it when the officials mark the ball up a yard after you've already given it on the air what the measurements is. It's a yard less. And we got whistles all over the place. Somebody's jumped off sides. Nope. They said that it'll be false start for Greenfield. So that's a 5-yard penalty. So in the first half, it was a 90-25 lead, Miami Trace, in penalties, which is a category that you definitely do not want to lead in. Well, Greenfield in this first possession is trying to catch up. They've had 2 penalties now for 15 yards, and they're going backwards instead of forwards. Brings it all the way now back to the 9-yard line and makes it 3rd and forever. As we're about 9.5 minutes into the second half of play. Trace on the blitz. Here comes the runs, and almost coming up with the interception was Miami Trace, as coming in and getting a hand on it and almost able to pick it off. That was Riston LeBeau, but he was not able to bring it in. But if nothing else, he did his job, and that's keep the ball from going into the hands of the Miami Trace, I should say the Greenfield receiver, and force Greenfield on 4th down to have to punt the ball and give it back to Miami Trace. And Bodecker is going to be, my goodness, he's on about the Greenfield 40. So very short field to work with. There's the snap from the end zone. High punt. Bodecker calls fair catch and will make it at about the Greenfield 37-yard line. He's looking around for somebody to hand the ball to. One of the Greenfield coaches stands there and says, "Here, coach, you can have this." So 1st and 10, ball at the 36. There's some things the camera's not catching, folks. I'm sorry. She might have caught that one and handed the ball. I don't know. But anyway, so 9:23 left here in the 3rd period of play. Trace takes over. An excellent field position. In fact, their best of the entire evening at the Greenfield 36. Asher, spin moves. And he might have got about 2 or 3 on that play. Well, it's now 5 minutes left in the game, and it's 56-13 Jackson. So with that running, it's 3rd quarter? Oh, geez. That running clock's not running fast enough if you're a Blue Line fan. After the pickup, Robinette pass, and Garrett Guess, his favorite receiver, makes another catch down at about the 24-yard line. So that was a pickup of 10 yards. They only needed about 7 or 8. So that'll be the 4th first down in the game for Miami Trace. 4 catches, 46 yards for Garrett tonight so far. Good draw, and quickly, though, smelling it out was Greenfield McClain. I'll say Hetzel, the 51, was the one on the tackle. No gain on the play for Asher. Second and 10 coming up. Robinette looks over the McClain defense. Rolls now to his left, looks down. Here's he's under some pressure. He gets rid of it, throws, and smartly throws it away. He was looking toward the end zone, and May was in the end zone, but he was really covered pretty effectively. And so Robinette smartly throws it out of bounds instead of taking the loss on maybe a possible sack. That makes it 3rd and 10. Ball still at the 24-yard line. And if you're Coach Williams, you know you've got Warnock on the sideline. If you don't get it here, you can always bring him in and kick another field goal if you want to. Robinette snaps, little pitch out to the right side, weaving and bobbing. Landon Cope, and he's all the way down to around the 5-yard line. That was just a beautiful play. Cope was lined up in the right side in the backfield, and basically Robinette just threw him like a little curl pass as he was coming out and makes some big gains. Down, they're going to mark it at the 6, so that was an 18-yard pickup to Cope, and that is another first down, and that makes it 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. Trace threatening for another score. There's the throw, and it's good. So Robinette with a 6-yard touchdown pass to Garrett Guess comes at the 7:27 mark here in the 3rd. So it makes it 19-11 now in favor of Miami Trace, trying to get a little breathing room here in the second half of play. Warnock will go for the PAT. Snap, up, and it's good. It's almost automatic for him. So with that, it's 20-11 in favor of Miami Trace. We'll take a timeout with 7:27 left in the 3rd right here on WCHC.
Hi, my name is Olivia Pryor, and I'm from Fayette County Early Learning Center. We are now currently enrolling for our Head Start, Early Head Start, and Child Care Partnership programs. We have programs for pregnant moms and children from birth to 3, children from 3 to 5, and then we also have an existing Child Care Partnership where we meet with and work with child care programs and serve children from 6 weeks to 3 years old. If you're interested in enrolling, please stop by and see us or give us a call at 740-335-7282, and we hope to hear from you soon.
We're back here at Tony's Welding Fabrication Stadium at Miami Trace High School. We got a good one going on. 20-11, Miami Trace has just scored on a 6-yard touchdown pass. That is the second touchdown thrown tonight by Mr. Robinette. There's the kick. It's about the 15-yard line, and coming up the left side and getting across the 30. And that, of course, is the gentleman from Greenfield that we've been saying his name quite a lot, Riley Collins, number 30. He's picked off a pass. He's dropped or almost had 2 other interceptions, and now he returns the kickoff. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball will be at the Greenfield 32-yard line. We're at the 7:22 mark in a 20-11 Miami Trace lead. No, you did not hear me wrong. It's 20-11. Penwell, right side. Little move, and finally brought down. And let me see. That's he's brought down there by Hire on another tackle. Called his name a few times tonight as well. Now we got a flag. There, another holding call on Greenfield. So another penalty. So after being charged only 3 times for 25 yards for penalties in the entire first half, Greenfield McClain on just 1+ possession has already picked up 3 penalties for 25 yards. Collins in motion. Handoff to the big guy, Mr. Potts, behind that left guard, and he will maybe pick up about 4 yards on the play. Unofficially got him at 84 yards. Again, came into the game with over 1,100 yards rushing. 6:25 left. Second and about 16 at the 26. Back to pass over the middle, in and out of the hands as Owen Sykes could not pull it in for McClain. Pinwell now unofficially is 0 for 8 in the passing department. He, of course, is taking over for Drake Stapleton, who got hurt in the Washington Courthouse game last week. They used Colin Six, a sophomore down at Jackson. He didn't do very well. Of course, the team overall, I think, was held to like 30 yards in total offense. So the coach shook it up a little bit and put Pinwell at the quarterback slot tonight. He's done, well, he's having trouble passing, but he's been able to run the ball pretty effectively. And there's a second interception. That one's picked off by Miami Trace at about the 45-yard line. Cross midfield, that is Austin Bodecker. He cuts across to the right, the 30, the 20, the 10, knocked out of bounds. He sticks that football out, and nope, the officials will not give him a touchdown. Said he was about a yard short. Oh, my. 54-yard interception return by Austin Bodecker. But the official marked it just a little short. Let me see where they're going to put it. Well, one official wants to put it around the 3, and the other official wants to put it closer to the 1. So they decided on the 1, didn't they? So a 54-yard interception return to the 1 by Bodecker. First and goal, and one play, 1 yard, 1 score, and it's Asher LeBeau with the TD. Well deserved. So after the turnover, a 1-yard touchdown run by Asher LeBeau at the 5:44 mark. And Zay Salyers will be holding, and Zach the man will be going for the PAT. I want to tell you what his streak is, but I know as soon as I mention it, I'll jinx him, so I'm not saying a word. There's the high snap. There's the kick. It's up in the air, and it is good. So his streak continues. I will put it in our story on social media after the game's over with. All right? The PAT is good, and Miami Trace is opening it up as they've scored 14 quick points, and it's now 27-11. Miami Trace leads 5:44, third period play here on WCHC.
A new way to healthcare is here. ProMedica Home Health, formerly Heartland Hospice, works on enriching lives one patient at a time. With office locations at 208 North Fayette Street, Washington Courthouse, and in Circleville, ProMedica provides care wherever our patients call home. Our services serve a 7-county Central Ohio area. As a local home health and hospice provider, ProMedica is ready to offer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week service for your healthcare needs. Contact them at 866-498-6456. That's 866-498-6456. ProMedica Home Health, Washington Courthouse and Circleville.
Warnock with the kick. Greenfield will take it at about the 3-yard line, and bringing it out will be Owen Sykes. And he'll bring it all the way out to around the 20-yard line. Well, you know, you have to wonder. The ball was not going to go in the end zone, so I guess he had to figure he had to do something as far as getting the ball picked up, not have him get trapped. So that will put the ball 1st and 10 at the McClain 20-yard line. 27-11, 2 quick scores. In fact, Miami Trace has scored twice in less than 2 minutes here in the third to open this one up. Pitch left side, and the defense of Miami Trace starting to tighten up just a little bit, and they will hold Potts. Loss of a yard on the play. I'll bring up 2nd and 11 at about the 19. So the clock continues to roll here. I think David showed me it was 57-13 Jackson in the 4th now. That running clock over Washington Courthouse. I got a feeling the blue line team's going to be mad when they come in next week. What do you think? Could set up a good game between the Panthers and the Blue Lions. Pick up there, some yardage by Pinwell. Pick up of about 5. Make it 3rd and 6 at their own 25-yard line. And this is Cohen 6, who's now in the game at quarterback, and he keeps it. And he may have picked up about 2 or 3 yards. And so bring up a 4th down and 7, and they're going to have to punt it, I would think, this deep in the territory. So Weller will be again punting tonight. I believe this is his 2nd punt of the contest. There's the snap. There's the kick. Bo Decker back for Miami Trace at the 40. He cuts up the middle. Midfield, gets in the Greenfield territory, and will make it about a 13-yard return after the punt. So it'll be 1st and 10. Miami Trace again taking over in Greenfield territory at the 47-yard line. 27-11 is your score, with the Miami Trace Panthers exploding for 2 quick touchdowns. Miami Trace, basically Robinette in the shotgun, Asher right behind him. Handoff, Asher, as Miami Trace had Cope in motion, like he might got the snap as a Wildcat, but instead the snap went to Robinette. Handoff and a pick up a 3 by Miami Trace. Now I got two in the back. Fake handoff. Quick pass over the middle to Garrett Guess. He's across the 30 down to around the 27-yard lines. Good call there. A quick popper over the middle by Robinette to Guess. That will give him about 17-yard pass and another first down. Well, Robinette and Guess are now starting to make some bids here to Player of the Game awards, huh? Starting to put up some impressive statistics. Bo Decker with that interception return, that's got to be considered. He's had a good game tonight, and also on punt returns. Okay. And trying to get away, and finally Greenfield needed about a quintet there to get Landon Cope down. No gain on the play. 57-21, Jackson leading Washington Courthouse. Hey, Blue Lions are scoring. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough, is it? Huh? 5 minutes left in the game. Again with that rolling clock. So they're going to be done probably early fourth quarter here. A pass. And we got a little extra activity in the backfield as Miami Trace and Greenfield players got tangled up a little bit. Now Miami Trace is going to see one of their players walking to the sideline. That's Andrew Guthrie. And he's got his helmet off, so I don't know, he must have been taken out of the game or something. He's standing on the sideline. No penalty called, by the way. Him and Potts kind of got on the ground a little bit. Official basically said, let's break it up. And Guthrie goes, oh, nice pass over to Cope. Cope on the left side and gets across the 25. Has a little loop pass to him coming out of the backfield, which seems to have been very productive tonight for Miami Trace. So that will be a pickup of 5. And that will bring up a fourth down. And it looks like they're going to bring in Zach Warnick. And this would be where the ball is placed. This would be a 40-yard attempt, which would be the longest of the night for him. Snap, kick, it's high, it's long, and it is another no-doubter. That one's over by the concession stand, folks. That's how far he kicked it. So with that, the score now, it's Miami Trace 30, Greenfield 11. You're listening to Fayette County Youth Sports on WCHC.
The Bagels are back at your Epifana McDonald's in Fayette County and Jamestown. You can choose your favorite breakfast sandwich, either bacon, egg, and cheese, steak, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. Try out these delicious breakfast sandwiches backed by popular demand. The Bagels are back at your Epifana McDonald's restaurants. 3 locations in Fayette County and in Jamestown. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Well, we're back here at Miami Trace. Once again, another field goal by Zachary Warnock. His third of the night. He came in the game with already 6 field goals for the season. So he's bumped his figures up, hasn't he? 33 seconds left, and we're still in the third period of play, folks. And there's the high kick. Greenfield will get it at about the 20-yard line, and that will be Cameron Medley, and he'll get it out to around the 26. So that'll bring up first and 10 for Greenfield McClain. Next Friday night, Washington Courthouse, Miami Trace, Battle of Fayette County. You can see the its entirety on WCHC, and then the next morning on the Epifano Sports Network or the McDonald's of Fayette County Facebook page will be the trophy presentation to the winner of that game. Miami Trace won it last year. Handoff coming around the right end and making a big first down run. That was probably about 14 yards by Mr. Potts. I got him unofficially now with 13 carries for 95 yards. So he's knocking on the door of 100. He may get it. I don't know. We got 5 seconds left in the quarter. He may have to wait till the fourth period to get it. Are they going to get a playoff? They do with 1 second left. And there's Potts. Oh, nice cut up the middle. He's into Miami Trace territory as the end of the third period of play. And that is a pickup of about 11 yards, and that'll put him over 100 yards rushing tonight. So we've got 3 in the books with 1 to go. Our score, Miami Trace 30 and Greenfield McClain 11. You're watching Fayette County Youth Sports on WCHC.
Sometimes it seems like it's hard to decide on a technician that you can trust with your vehicle transportation service needs. That's why since 2001, customers from Washington Courthouse and the surrounding area have made Jim Van Dyke's Automotive Center, 2247 U.S. Route 22 Southwest, their smart choice and auto repair service needs. Jim, Marlene, and Ray Van Dyke offer customers a professional, trained, and certified staff that can handle your vehicle needs. Jim Van Dyke's Automotive Center staff can do it all, including transmission, brakes, tires, and alignments. They also offer a free 30-point inspection to detect any potential service needs. They can work on both domestic and foreign vehicles. Call for an appointment at 740-335-2000. That's 740-335-2000. Or for more information, go to jimvandyke.com.
We head into the final 12 minutes of action here at Miami Trace. And the Panthers exploding for 17 points in that third period of play to open up this contest as they lead at 30-11. By the way, Potts on that last carry now is officially over 100 yards rushing. High snap. Pinwell back in the game at quarterback, and that is the second time that's happened to him tonight with the high snap, and he's going to lose some big real estate there. Back to about the 41. That's a loss of 9. And we got a player on the field. We've seen what? 3 for each team now, I believe it is, where action has been stopped. The FAC Cross Country Championships are going to be held tomorrow down at Mitchell Park. High school and junior high. How would you like to get up at 9 o'clock, this weather like this, and go run? Wouldn't be there. Wouldn't be there. Yeah. I could do play-by-play, but that's about as far as I go. I don't think I'd try to run that one. So, Greenfield, Coach Pinwell now coming over. I think he's going to be okay. He's kind of moving around a little bit. Haven't been able to pick the number up. And still not final, is it? It's getting close, though. Jackson's going to try to score again. They already scored again? Oh, okay. 63-21, Jackson winning. Wow. Over Washington Courthouse. Well, meanwhile, down on the field for Greenfield McClain. That's Cade Spuncil, I believe it is. S-P-O-N-C-I-L. Spuncil, is that how you say it? Well, thank you very much. I keep trying. Miss Kogenauer, she's over here. She's telling me make sure to pronounce the right names. Another bad snap. And again, Pinwell has got to recover. So that is the third fumble by Greenfield McClain. Fortunately for them, they haven't lost any, but it doesn't matter because you're going backwards, you're not going forwards. And now it's going to be a 3rd and 23 coming up. Now, Chillicothe, they hold on to beat Hillsboro the way they were leading the half. If you're Courthouse, you've got to win next week against Miami Trace and hope Chillicothe beats Jackson. It'll be for tri-championship. They all will have one loss. Well, okay. Another offsides by McClain. They had 3 penalties for 25 yards in the first half. Here in the second half, they have 4 penalties and 30 yards. There's the snap. Pinwell rolls to his left and throws it wide to Riley Cummins. So I'll bring up a 4th down. And looks like it's going to be time to punt that bad boy away. You're down by 19. You're deep in your territory. The offense just for some reason not clicking right now. No sense give the Panthers anything easy, right? Bo Decker once again will be back. Weller, who's been doing most of the punting tonight, is back again. There's the snap. There's the kick. Came off the side of his foot a little bit. Ball's rolling. Bo Decker says, nah, just let it roll. And it's going to go all the way down to the I don't know if they're down there actually blowing on the football to get it to move any further or not. I don't know. But anyway, it finally stops at about the 27-yard line. David, we like just have fun doing this thing. I mean, my goodness, there's more serious things in the world than a football game. Have a little fun with it, my friends. So Miami Trace will take over 1st and 10 at their 27-yard line with over 10 minutes left in the game and a pretty comfortable lead right now after exploding for 17 points in the 3rd quarter. Robinette back. He's gone. Home run ball to Cope. Cope's got it. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. 73-yard touchdown pass from Robinette to Landon Cope. And that's no joke because Cope gave him hope. Oh, I can do this all night now, my friends. Watch out. So that score comes, a 73-yard bomber from Robinette to Cope. Makes it 36-11. There's the snap. Zach again with the PAT. He keeps his long streak going, but I can't tell you because I'll get in trouble and jinxing. So we'll take a break. Our score with 10:09 left in the game, Miami Trace 37, Greenfield 11. You're watching high school football action, Fayette County Youth Sports on WCHC.
Do you have a warm heart and helpful hands? Make yourself at home as a member of our care team at Courthouse Manor and St. Catherine's Manor of Washington Courthouse. We are looking to grow our family of employees with dedicated STNAs, LPNs, and RNs. Contact us for more information or apply online today at courthousemanor.com or stcatherinescourthouse.com.
right, we're about ready to begin now this possession as Warnock again will do the kicking off. High in the air. Inside the 5, here comes Greenfield. And up the middle, nice little spin move. And that, of course, being Owen Sykes. With that 73-yard pass play, by the way, from Robinette to Cope, I've got Trey unofficially 12 out of 19 for 216 yards passing. That would be his third game this year. He's had over 200 yards passing. And now we got a whistle, and we got a Greenfield timeout. Substitution. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout as well. You're watching Fayette County Youth Sports, WCHC.
We should go bowl and have the best pizza in Fayette County tonight.
Ugh, I don't want to go to 2 places.
Well, we don't have to. The best pizza in Fayette County comes from the local pizzeria, Amori's Pizzeria, just inside Leah Lanes.
Really? No way.
Yes way. Come on in and grab a lane and the best pizza in town. Leah Lanes and Amori's Pizzeria, located right across from the Fayette County Fairgrounds.
Call Leella Lanes at 740-335-2580 to order your pizza today.
All right, we're back here at Miami Trace after the timeout. Six, again, is now doing the quarterbacking. Cohn hands it off. And that's going to be doing. -1 yard. Now 26 points down. The McClain fans below us are saying throw the ball. Not sure the coach is going to do that. I think if nothing else, you try to work on something, get ready for Hillsboro next week. 6, pass play, almost picked off. Miami Trace had 2 players standing there. Malachi Jones, number 17, and also number 15, Gage Stuckey. They both were right in the vicinity, but the slant pattern ball, it was kind of knocked down more than anything else. So an incomplete pass by 6. Greenfield now is unofficially 0 for 9 with 1 interception by Mr. Bodecker. That set up a score. That pretty much put the nail in the coffin as far as Panther fans got to be concerned. Pitch to the right side. As Greenfield now running in some substitutions. No, check it. That's Penwell, number 12. I thought they had put somebody else in. So Penwell will carry the ball. He doesn't get any yardage at all. Penwell had 55 yards at the half, but 3 carries and -4 yards here in the second half. He's down to around 51. Potts has been held pretty much in check as too. Is high snap over the punter's head. Weller way back. He's going to have to, he gets rid of it. There's going to be another flag, and that's going to be a roughing the kicker. What in the world was Miami Trace, that player, what was he thinking of? That was clearly a penalty. I know that Coach Williams is going to argue it, but the player clearly gave him a good old-fashioned bear hug and threw him down, and you're going to get called for roughing a kicker every time on that one. So that's going to give Greenfield the ball back. So that will be a 15. Now what are they going to do? They're not going to call a penalty on that. Are you serious? So there is no penalty. I'm not sure what Coach Williams said to the officials, but he waved it off. And from here, that was definitely, it looked like a run. So Miami Trace will take over 1st and 10 at the Greenfield 26. Wow. Robinette pitches it. Asher comes to the left side. 25, 20, and down to around the 15. And now we got just a little extra activity, and now we got a flag. We got a flag here on the sideline. Well, I don't know if it's going to be on Greenfield, but it's going to be offsetting. If it's offsetting, it'll be a 11-yard pickup by LeBeau. Now we have a conference among the officials with 8 minutes left. And Coach Penwell's telling these players just get off to the side, let the officials do their thing. So it'll be at the 19-yard line. Oh, there's a player on the sideline too? Okay. For Miami Trace and offsetting penalties. Meanwhile, Miami Trace has yet another player down the sideline. Didn't catch it. Or on the track, I guess, more than anything. So we're just kind of, be honest with you, we're keeping it right here trying to figure out what's going on. Unsportsmanlike conduct's one of the calls. So they're going to we'll replay the first down back to 29. It'll be a 1st and 13 when it's done. And it's, again, this one's a McClain player, not Miami Trace. I apologize, didn't quite catch it. And Michael Stevenson, okay. These old fingers can't turn these little papers anymore as fast as they used to. I'm going to have to start licking them so I can turn the page so I can get the names. Yeah, Bank People's got. Yeah, because I got like I got 4 pages of notes Trace and 4 for Greenfield. So Stevenson's walking it off, but got a little banged up to say the least. When it's all said and done, offsetting penalties, and it'll be a 1st and 13. Ball will be at the Greenfield 29-yard line. And that only took about 5 minutes off the clock in real time, right? Snap, handoff, and that'll be Higher who carries the ball. And if he got back to, he might not even got back to the line of scrimmage. Make it 2nd and 13. Fake handoff. Robinette keeps it. Maybe picks up a yard on the option. Third and about 12 at about the 28-yard line. We're under 7 minutes left in the contest. A 17-point explosion by Miami Trace in the 3rd period took what was really a very good first half and has kind of made this one-sided here in the second half of play with 2 touchdowns and a Warnock field goal. Fake handoff. Robinette again keeps it up the middle as Trace now just trying to run some time off the clock. And he might have picked up another yard or 2. And that will bring up a 4th and 10. Ball at the 26. Guess who's in the game? The Z-Man, Mr. Zach Warnock. What's this, his 4th field goal? Yeah. This will be his 4th field goal attempt. Balls will be put down at about the 32 plus 10. That's a 42-yarder. And this one, again, this kid is just, he is kicking it so far past the end zone, folks. You're not, he could have kicked a 50-yarder. We saw him, 60 yards in warm-up from midfield. So he's got the leg tonight and gets another 3 points. And our score of 5:34 left in the game. It's now Miami Trace 40, Greenfield 11 here on WCHC.
Gotten the COVID vaccine.
So have I.
I have too.
The sooner we're all vaccinated,
The sooner we can get back to normal. I'm looking forward to going to live concerts,
sports events,
graduation, going out with friends.
it's not about me.
It's not about me. It's about protecting the people I care about.
To protect my community, I just want to do my part. Even though I'm young and healthy,
I know it's the right thing to do. Take your shot. Protect your family and your friends.
Don't hesitate. Vaccinate.
Well, we're back here at 5.5 minutes left in the game. Warnock with the kick. And this one will go into the end zone. And Greenfield will take over 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Well, who do you folks think should be the Epifana McDonald star of the game, huh? We got several candidates. Well, we'll tell you who it is, as we'll be talking during the post-game program and get an idea of what stats. Jack Anders is scheduled to come up and talk to us after the game, and we'll see what happens. So Miami Trace will chalk up win number 2 in a row, go to 4 and 5, heading into that big game with Washington Courthouse next week. So Blue Lions were blown out tonight by Jackson, 63-21. Greenfield will carry the ball, gets it out to the 25, a 5-yard pickup there. I believe that is Newman. So Newman now kind of getting some carries for McClain. 3 carries, net 4 yards. Check out, they're going to give him 5. So it'll be 2nd and 5 at the 25. As we're under the 5-minute mark. This game's moved at a pretty good pace. It's just a little past 9:30. That's not bad. Yeah, we're going to have a whistle. What'd you say? Delay a game? That's what Mr. Glass says it is too. So another penalty on McClain. That is their 5th penalty here in the second half. 35 yards. At halftime, they had 3 for 25. So they're starting to catch Miami Trace in the penalty thing. I don't know the Panthers, I don't believe, for any penalties, because that one was offsetting, and I don't think they've got any penalties in the second half. There's a handoff. Out to about the 26, pickup of 6. Dumia, the ball carrier, number 27. He's had some carries here. Nothing else, get him some experience, as they'll have the big Rotary Trophy down at Highland County next week. That's what they battle for, David. The battle between Greenfield and Hillsboro. There's the snap. Yet another handoff. And Dumie crossed the 35. Dewey doing a pretty good job here on this series. That is a pickup of 11 yards, and that gives a first down to Greenfield McClain. So ball 1st and 10 at the McClain 37. Well, this may not be a pretty offense, but if they could get down here and score again, at least give them a little confidence, I would guess, going into next week's game. Handoff. 6 handing the ball off, and that will be our buddy, Mr. Cummings, who we've called his name a lot tonight, both defensively, especially. Picked up 4 on the play. Don't forget Wednesday night, girls volleyball sectional play at Miami Trace High School. They'll take on Waverly. If they win, they go to the districts. Handoff again. Oh, nice little draw play there. And a good run by Cummings. And hold on, there's the flag again. And the runner's shaking up a little bit too. Oh, that's going to be a Miami Trace. That's going to be a biggie. That's a personal foul. That's a 15-yarder. That is the first penalty in the second half for the Panthers. After having 90 yards at the half, that 15-yard puts them over 105. So, Greenfield, via the penalty, thank you very much, picks up another first down. And with 2.5 minutes is Miami Trace territory at the Trace 39. Dummy again, right side. And a lot of Panthers in on that tackle, weren't they? We'll see a gaggle? Is that how you say it? Look at your textbook. See if that's gathering. Pick up 3 there. We're under 2 minutes left in the game. It's been all Trace in the second half. Handoff, draw play. And coming up for Miami Trace, making that play there was number 73, Adam Guthrie. No gain on the play. Now we'll bring up 3rd and 6 with 90 seconds left in the game. Greenfield, nothing through the air tonight. It's all been on the ground. They had 132 at the half. It'll be interesting to figure up the stats and see how many they actually got in the second half of play. Handoff, right side. And that will be Doomy again. Got it to 32, giving 4 yards on that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 carries for him tonight. 28 yards. As the clock continues to roll. 4th and 2. Well, Greenfield, you're saying, well, let's go for it. Well, we got to lose, right? Final 30 seconds ticking off the clock. There's the handoff. Cummings, right side, and he'll be lucky he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And Bailey Davis, number 30 for Miami Trace, comes up and makes the tackle. No gain on the play. And the ball will go back to Miami Trace with 18 seconds left. Basically, just take a knee and let's go home, folks. So 1st and 10 at the Trace 33. Basically, the officials telling the players, hey, they're probably just going to take a knee. There will be the snap, Robinette, and that will end the game. As the final seconds tick away, yeah, we're waiting around here. Trace is going to run off. They're done. Coach Williams said, let's go. And so does Greenfield, and that's going to end the game. Final score, Miami Trace 40, Greenfield McClain 11. And with that, the Panthers now will pick up an important league win. They now go to 2-2, and they're 4-5 overall. Meanwhile, for Greenfield McClain, another tough evening. They showed a little offense in that first half, but couldn't get anything going in the second half. They dropped to 3-5 overall and 0-4 in the FAC. The post-game programming is coming up in just a few minutes, so stay tuned right here on WCHC.
Wondering what comes next after high school? At Laurel Oaks Career Campus, you can forge a successful career path. Start as a junior and graduate with opportunities in dental assistance, education, construction, healthcare, exercise science, and more. Earn a career certification and college credit. What comes next is up to you. Open up a world of possibilities and discover your greatness. Go to greatoaks.com to find out more. That's greatoaks.com.
Hello, I'm Tara Ivers from Fayette County Early Learning Center, and we are now enrolling for several of our programs. We have a home-based program that serves pregnant moms through children age 3. We also have a center-based Head Start program that serves children in our program ages 3 to 5. We have a partnership with Fayette County, Highland County, and Clinton County, where we work with child care programs to enroll children 6 weeks to 3 in our center-based program. So please call us at 740-335-7282. We'll help you enroll. Thank you.
M&M Turf Supply Company has been serving the equine industry since 1966. We carry a complete line of 100% natural horse tail hair and mane hair. Bulk horsehair is sold in half-pound and 1-pound bundles and is available in blunt cut or natural tapered. The hair can be used to make horsehair extensions, pottery, sculpture, braiding, and jewelry. We are located in Central Ohio, and we can ship to most states in 2 to 3 business days. Please call us at 740-335-1641 or visit us at mmhorsehair.com.
With fruit and vegetables coming out of the garden, now's the time to come to Kirk's Furniture for your next General Electric major appliances. We have a complete full line of refrigerators, side-by-sides, bottom freezers, or the French door models, chest freezers or upright freezers available in all sizes. Stop by this week and see our complete selection of General Electric products. That's at Kirk's Furniture in New Holland, your independent General Electric dealer since 1935. Free delivery and setup in our trading area. We service what we sell.
Time for the Epifano post-game program featuring coaches' comments and the player of the game announcement. This program is presented by your Epifano McDonald's restaurants, 3 locations in Fayette County and Jamestown.
Well, the Miami Trace football team, a tradition, the win, they get the victory bell. And they went over there and rang it very well as the bands played. And the final score again, once again tonight, it was Miami Trace using a 17-point third period to open up a very close contest and winning tonight by a final score of 40-11. It was 13-11 at halftime. And as we mentioned, 2 touchdowns and a field goal by Warnock proved to be the difference as the Trace team was slowly able to pull away. And, well, the lack of being able to have a passing attack really kind of helped hurt the McClain when it was all said and done. Real quickly, these are unofficial, but we will first have our post-game interview. Jack Anders is going to join us now. Jack, grab a chair there, buddy, and we'll give you a second to catch your breath. If you're like me, those steps ain't good for us older guys now. You know, I said older guys. I didn't say the other. You know, the older guys. So anyway, Jack Anders, one of the assistant coaches, Miami Trace, joined us here, and appreciate Coach Williams getting that all lined up. All right, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Little sluggish first half. Greenfield showed some stuff and kept it close at 13-11 at the half. Yeah. What adjustments did you guys make at halftime?
Defensively, it was just more settling down, doing our jobs, not getting too far upfield, squeezing down, 11 guys to the football. You know, so we didn't really change a whole lot as far as what we were doing. We just cleaned up what we should be doing.
When you look at a game like this, you know, you guys have had nice rivalries over the year, even though you've dominated the series. And there's always something happens. And tonight it seems like there were a lot of players that was on the field. I think both teams had about, 3 or 4 times for each team we had to kind of stop action a little bit and see what the injuries were.
Yeah, you know, one thing about Greenfield for years is their toughness and their grit, the willingness to get after it. You know, I talked to the kids at halftime, and I said, you know, that's the type of guys they are. They're tough kids. They're going to come at. They're not going to stop. They're just going to keep playing. And you know, it was a very physical game all the way through. Hats off to Greenfield. I mean, they did some really good things, and but you know, glad that we got to win.
During the game, the score was being given to everyone, which probably as a coach, you probably like, we really don't need to hear that, but I'm sure the kids heard it. Any factor that you thought maybe in the kids' minds a little bit, or too early to tell?
You know, I heard the first score when it was announced, and of course some of our kids heard it. I said, hey, we got to focus, take care of business. You know, we can't play Courthouse tonight. We're playing Greenfield. So our kids stayed focused after that, and you know, and did the things that they were supposed to.
It seemed like in the second half, of looking at some stats that I've got here, you know, Robin Ed had about 90-some yards passing the first half. The big 73-yard touchdown helped the stats, got them up to around 120-some. You know, over 200 yards passing tonight. You guys had about 129 yards rushing. So in the long run, that's kind of the 60-40 passing for you guys the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's, you know, last year we had a really special tailback.
Yeah.
You know, and these guys that we have this year are a different mold. They're more, they cut more. They got really good vision. One of our other tailbacks was out tonight, the Cold Grove boy.
Okay.
And him and the other LeBeau boy are a great combination, working together. And we, you know, offensively, you know, it's just like anything. We just, once you do your jobs, understand what you're supposed to be doing, and doing it like you're supposed to, that really makes the difference. And you could see in the second half, when we eliminated the mistakes, started doing our assignments, things were so much better.
Yeah, the stats I've got, Jack, you guys gave up 132 yards at the first half. That was all rushing because they just didn't have a pass game. And you only gave up 63 total yards in the second half, so you cut it in half. And you know, if you're a defensive coach, you got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm extremely pleased. Like I said, it was just getting back to the basics and just doing our jobs. When we do our job, offensively or defensively, we're a really good team. When we don't, you know, if you have the old philosophy, if you have 10 guys do everything right and one guy doesn't, you're always leaving somebody out to dry. So our kids understood that. After halftime, they came out and they executed exactly the way that they should have. And you know, it's just the little things, not getting too deep or, maintaining your block a little bit longer. You know, it's just those little things that separate. So, you know, great job. Really proud and happy for the seniors. This is their last home game. And, you know, for them to get the win and walk out of here, that's a pretty good night.
Absolutely. Final question, I'll let you go. How much of a difference does a Zach Warnock can make to your team?
Oh,
my goodness, that kid can kick.
Oh, he's been so consistent this year. I mean, and he's just kind of got that mindset when he walks out there, he's not going to miss. And if he does miss a field goal, he doesn't allow him to affect him. He'll go right back out and perform just as well. So, you know, that's a great weapon to have when you know that a kid from 50 yards in is pretty accurate. So
I saw him during warm-ups, and me and Dave were looking at each other like, do we possibly see another star kicker in Miami Trace program? Because you guys have had some really good kickers over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of them have been more like soccer players, like the Pitzer boy and things like that. But, you know, he's a pure football place kicker. He could possibly go to college if he wanted to.
Yes, he could. He's got a heck of a leg on him. That's
he
all
sure
I can
does.
say. And he does a good job of punting for us, too.
Yeah, he does. And kickoff, I think he hit kicked a couple in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So he does a good game. Like you say, that's kind of a secret tool that you can always use, especially with hopefully the playoffs coming up and stuff like that. Be very valuable for you. And, of course, next week at Washington Courthouse, in the back of your mind, you know you've got a guy that can maybe kick it from about, like you say, 50 yards in. Could end up being a difference. You never know.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy this one.
Thank you.
And I know that you guys will probably enjoy this for just a few hours and then start working on the Blue Lions.
Oh, absolutely.
We've been around long enough, Jack. We know how it operates.
Yeah, big week for the kids, for the community.
Yep.
And, you know, it's always a big game, and you know, our kids will be up to the challenge. And
all right,
we're going to get after it and have a little bit of fun.
All right, good enough. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jack Andrews, one of the assistant coaches for the Miami Trace program. Appreciate you coming up, buddy. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll name our Epifano McDonald's Star of the Game right after this.
Epifano McDonald's of Fayette County and Jamestown has openings for individuals looking to grow with one of the top companies in the world. Epifano McDonald's now has available crew positions at our Jeffersonville location starting at $16 per hour. If you're looking for management opportunities, positions are available starting at $18 per hour. Benefits include school tuition assistance, free meals and uniform, paid training. Check out our McDonald's of Fayette County, Ohio Facebook page. Epifano McDonald's. I'm loving it.
All right, back here as we look at several different candidates, but Dave and I, we started talking about this in the fourth quarter. Says, really, when it's all said and done, one guy made a major difference tonight in this game, and so our Epifano McDonald's star of the game is going to be Zachary Warnock. 4 field goals tonight, 40, 42, 37, 35 yards. Place kicking, just, you know, phenomenal, and I guess I can mention now he was 28 out of 29 in PATs, 6 out of 7 in field goals coming into the game. He had kicked 25 PATs in a row. Tonight he had like the 4 field goals and he had, 3 PATs, so he keeps the streak going. So now Miami Trace, the attention turns to the team in town. Washington Courthouse will play host in the Battle of Fayette County, and the winner will receive, of course, the McDonald's Trophy a week from Saturday at the McDonald's in Jeffersonville. Will be the Blue Lions who would like to reclaim it, or will Miami Trace take it 2 in a row? We'll find out next Friday night starting at 6:45. And don't forget, the Lady Panthers will be involved in volleyball sectional play Wednesday night, 5:45 airtime, as they take on the Waverly Tigers. Our thanks to all of you folks for joining us and all of our community supporters, and we hope that you enjoyed the broadcast. And don't forget to tell people to share it and view it. And until Wednesday night, when we're back on the air at 5:45 with volleyball action, for Dave and Myra Woolever, I'm Randy Young. Again, the final score tonight, it was Miami Trace 40, Greenfield McClain 11. You're watching Fayette County Youth Sports on WCHC.